everyone, it's Samantha, and Bob the Canary is in the other room going insane, so you're going to hear him a lot in the background. I apologize, he's just being really distracting, but I want to go ahead and film this just in case because a lot of things have been changing this last week. I really wanted to get this 39-week update made for you guys. I wasn't sure I was going to feel up to it because I've been feeling kind of yucky the last few days. I just wanted to get this done as soon as possible when I was feeling good this morning. I almost didn't film this one. I almost put the hiatus notice up. I really wanted to get this one filmed at least. So a lot of things have been changing this week. I haven't felt all that great some of the time. Most of the time I feel okay. I'm really getting used to her being down low, so I'm not super uncomfortable. I still feel a lot of pressure. I'm still going to the bathroom during the day all the time, but it doesn't hurt like it did in the beginning once she first dropped. But I'm having some lightheaded spells because I do have the low blood pressure. It's low normal, but it's low enough that it is causing me some lightheadedness. I'm really having to get up really slowly, not bend over and then, bend back up. So it's been a little bit of a challenge. I've had to go a little bit slower. I've also run into a couple of low blood sugar incidences, which one of them actually happened at my midwife appointment this week. That's how I knew what it was. I thought it was just a low blood pressure incident. So what had happened was the nurse had just taken my weight and I was walking back to my room, and it's like a maze, going to your room, and I got really dizzy. I got really faint and really dizzy just walking back to the room. I made it to the room. I didn't pass out or anything, but I just mentioned it to her like, I just got really dizzy just walking down the hallway. When the midwife came in, we talked about it a little bit, and I was like, that's the first time that's really happened to me. He asked me what I had just eaten, and I was like, I just ate a banana, so, it shouldn't be that big a deal. And he's like, well, you probably should eat like 3 bananas at a time, not just one. You're growing a little human, so 1 banana is not enough. You need to make sure you're eating a lot more at a time. I was like, wow, I didn't really think, it would be that big of a deal. So he was convinced it was low blood sugar. I just need to make sure I'm eating around the clock. So I guess that gave me like a green light to just eat whatever I want, which I have been doing anyway, pretty much. But I'm trying to eat more often and try to eat before I get hungry, just because I'm worried about having something like that happen again. Well, all was fine. And then on Saturday, I had 2 events. The same thing. I had eaten breakfast early in the morning, and then Johnny and I got caught up with a couple of things, just doing some errands around the house. I hadn't eaten in about 4 hours, which is not that big a deal ordinarily. 4 hours between eating is not a huge deal, but it's a huge deal, I guess, if you're pregnant this late in pregnancy, because I started getting a spot in my vision, and I thought I was getting a migraine. That's the kind of spot it looked like, so I immediately I looked at the clock and I'm like, oh, I haven't eaten in a while. It's just low blood sugar. I ate. I was totally fine. The spot went away. And then later that night, we started organizing the basement. And we were so caught up organizing the basement, and I was just going to town actually doing something. Lately I've just been kind of a lump. I haven't really been doing much besides my walking. And so I was really getting into it, and I'm in that nesting mode, so I wanted to get things organized. And he ended up saying, we need to take a break. It's been a long time. We've been organizing. You're probably tired. You need to, go relax. So he's the one that made us stop organizing. And this was Saturday night. And when I was done, I was going to go get a snack because it had been a while, and I did get a migraine. I'm pretty sure it was a combination of my hormones are changing right now and also the low blood sugar, because it had been about 4.5 hours since I had eaten last time, and eating this time didn't help. I still got the aura and I still got the numbness, and I had to end up going to bed with a migraine. That was the first migraine I've had since the very beginning. I don't think I've had any migraines since the first trimester when my hormones were starting to change a lot. I'm thinking the low blood sugar mixed with the hormones caused me to have a migraine. It wasn't a really, really bad one, so at the time I was really concerned that that was going to be like my first sign of labor, and I was like, that would be the worst first sign of labor that could ever exist, is getting a migraine and then having to have labor. So I was really hoping that she wasn't going to come that night, but I was really worried because that's how we found out I was pregnant. That's how I suspected I was pregnant, as I kept getting these little migraines. And I was like, something's not right with my hormones. Generally speaking, it's all hormonal for me. So having the migraine, even with low blood sugar, was really like a sign. I feel like she's coming soon. I know she's coming in the next few weeks no matter what, but I really got the feeling that things are definitely going to change now. And actually since then I've been losing a lot of mucus, so it very well could be the early part of getting ready for labor. I'm just really excited. I hope that she comes this week. I'm not really holding my breath because it could be another 2 to 3 weeks from now, but I'm really just feeling like I want her to come this week. Week 39 would be great, and Valentine's Day is this weekend, so I really would love for her to come on Valentine's Day. So I keep kind of coaching her. I'm like, it's okay, you can come this week, it's fine. Trying to get her to come out. I've been doing a lot of walking. And like I said last week, I saw the same midwife this week, so I didn't get another weight estimate on her, but everything looked great with her. I did talk to the midwife about that labor scare I had that I thought was the false labor, and he totally agreed with me. It was false labor, and he said I definitely didn't have to come in for something like that. They want you to come in when your contractions are 2 to 3 minutes apart, so that's way far in labor, and I hope to only come in near the end like that because I have a doula and we're going to try to labor at home as much as possible. So that's pretty much it that's going on. I'm just in full nesting mode. We've worked on reorganizing the basement. We finally put up the shelves that I'd been wanting to do. If you saw one of my day in the life videos a while back, I did show our basement and give you kind of a tour of it and tell you how I was going to reorganize it. Well, we finally started the process. I've been really wanting to do this, and it looks really good down there. So I'll insert a couple of photos. I'm really happy with how that turned out. We also groomed all the dogs this weekend. The dogs got baths, and it was a really busy weekend actually. I've been doing nothing but walking around and then sitting on the couch pretty much. Like, that's all I do now. I get so out of breath, I get so exhausted, and I really pushed myself this weekend to get some stuff done while my husband was home, so he really was doing most of it, but I was still there helping. Other than that, I think that's pretty much it. Definitely feel like I'm ready for her to come this week. I don't know if she's going to agree with me, but I really hope she comes this week. I'm really excited to meet her, and this week just feels right to me. But it's really up to her, so we'll just have to wait and see. I'm not really sure, but I'm hopeful. So I'm gonna go ahead and go down my questions here. We are in week number 39, and baby is the size of a watermelon, so very large. Emotionally and overall, like I said, I want her to come this week. I feel like this is the week. I just really want her to come this week. I'm getting to the point where, you know, she could come any day now, and everything I do, I'm like, this is going to be the last time I do this before I'm a mom, you know, or this is going to be the last time I get to do this in a while. We went grocery shopping, and I almost cried because I'm like, this might be the last time I get to grocery shop for a while. You know, I'll have to send Johnny because I'm going to be recovering. But it's just things like that. It's like everything is the last, it could be the last thing, and you don't really know. You know, I could have up to 3 weeks left, so it might not be the last thing. I'm really feeling emotional towards everything. Symptoms we talked about, heartburn, still going crazy. I'm a lot more swollen. I feel like my rings still fit. I can still get them off, but they are getting to where they're a little bit tighter, and I don't like it. And my husband made fun of me because he said they look like little pot roasts with the string around them. I just died laughing. I thought that was so funny. So I've got little pot roast fingers. I thought they looked like little sausages. They're so chunky, way chunkier than I'm used to. You know, I'm used to having really skinny fingers, and the rings are staying on as long as I can keep them on. So I'm happy with it still. So for cravings this last week, I haven't really been all that hungry, which leads me to, you know, the low blood sugar incidences. I'm not super hungry right now. I'm not really craving much. I'm almost over the strawberries. I've still been eating the strawberries, but I really haven't been the same as I have been before, where I just want to eat everything in sight. Now I'm more like, yeah, I can eat that, and I'm getting really indecisive with food. We went out to eat one night last week for our date night, and it took me like an hour to decide where to go. I just kept looking at the menus online, and one place sounded okay. We ended up going to my favorite Mexican food place. I knew I liked the Mexican place, so we went there. So I guess I can still say I'm craving Mexican because I really just love Mexican. The only other craving I had was one night I wanted McDonald's French fries. So I haven't craved French fries in quite a while, but I was just craving McDonald's French fries one night. So my husband went out and got me some McDonald's French fries. It just sounded so good. But then since then I haven't wanted them since, but they were good. There is nothing on my to-do list this week, just to relax and try not to count down the minutes and hours until the due date. Really trying not to think about how many days are left. I'm really trying to just enjoy the time I have, the quiet time, and the time snuggling the dogs, because I know soon I'm going to have something else to snuggle. Weight gain, I am at 196. So it's the highest weight I have ever seen on a scale. That puts me at 39 pounds overall for this pregnancy, which is right on track. So the best thing that happened this week is just my husband has been so supportive and so sweet throughout this whole thing. He is just my rock. He's just made it so wonderful for me. He really does tell me to go sit down and go relax, and he takes care of things. He washes all the clothes now. He feeds the dogs. He's just really like on top of everything in the house. He's just really, really stepped up with everything, and he's really taking good care of me. Like, I don't have a care in the world. He just makes sure that I'm comfortable, and he makes sure I have everything I need, and he really just takes care of everything else. And it's been wonderful to not have to worry about cleaning or worry about chores or anything. He really has done a bunch. At the same time, I feel a little bad because, you know, that's my job. You know, he works and I take care of the home. Well, he's really been doing double duty, and I'm really thankful that he has, because I don't think I could have kept up. I try to do as much as I can, but he really does encourage me to just go sit down and relax. When he's home, he tries to do as much as he can. I just think it's really sweet, and it just shows how good of a man he is, and I'm just thankful to have him in my life. I'm getting emotional thinking about it. So I try to do as much as I can, but he really just takes over the rest. And the worst thing that happened this week was the migraine. Although it wasn't as bad as some of my other migraines, I really just got to sleep it off and had a little bit of a headache the next day. I am going to be calling a local neurologist here and getting me set up for the Botox, which prevents migraines, but I am going to get that set up this week. So as soon as the baby's here, I can get my Botox scheduled. There's a lot of paperwork that goes into getting Botox for migraines, so they've got to get everything approved. But I am going to get the Botox again once the baby's here. I haven't had it since before I got pregnant. If you're new here and you haven't been following me from my Scrapmaster channel, I get Botox every 3 to 4 months to prevent migraines because I have really bad migraines. If you didn't get that from this little part, I get really bad migraines. And no pregnancy tips or discoveries except get your walking in. Walk as much as possible. I talked to the midwife about walking, and I was getting concerned because when I walk, I get a lot of contractions, just a ton of them. They're strong, and he said that's perfectly okay at this point. Walk through them if you can, as much as you can. Just walk, walk, walk. And so that's my tip for you guys. Just walk as much as you can. When you're late in your pregnancy, it's totally okay to walk when you have all the contractions. So just keep on walking, and that is it. So I'm going to show you my belly, and I'm also going to show you my stretch marks because I haven't done that in a while. I have gotten a little bit more, so I'm going to show you my bare belly, and here it is. All right, here's my 39-week belly, and Bob the Canary is going absolutely crazy in a room over there. The door's closed, but you still hear him, so just going to have to deal with him. Here is my 39-week belly. It's very large. I think it's way larger than last week even. I feel like it's sticking out a lot more. I've bumped into things a little bit this week, so I definitely feel like it's sticking out a lot. There it is. Just feels super huge. So I want to go ahead and show you guys my belly. This will probably be the last time I show you the belly without, I'm going to pull these up, make sure I'm not showing anything. I wanted to show you guys my little stretch mark area. It's definitely gotten more stretch marky right around my belly button, some underneath. Hope you guys can see that. I'm trying to lean as much as possible. And I don't have much of a linea nigra, but I have a teeny tiny little darker line there. I thought it was just like hair at first, but it's not. It's a teeny tiny little darkening, and then underneath here I do have a much darker part right here, but this part's like barely noticeable. I can hardly see it sometimes, but I think it's there. So most of my stretch marks from before are just hanging out over here, and they definitely have gotten lighter from that stretch mark cream. But I noticed some of the ends of them now are getting newer stretching on them, so they are turning that purpley pink color. I've been paying extra attention to those when I use the cream, and also this whole belly button area. My husband jokes around with me and he calls this my galaxy because it looks like a little galaxy where how it's just kind of like forming around my belly button. Other than that, everything else looks pretty good. I've got a lot of veins you can see probably, but not much as far as stretch marks. I'm really lucky that this is pretty much it right here. I just wanted to show you guys that because that's probably the last time you're gonna see this big old belly. And that is it for this week. I'm just not sure I'm gonna be filming the week 40 even if I'm still pregnant. Because at this point I'm just lazy and exhausted. So I'm not sure I'm gonna get a week 40 for you guys. So be looking for my hiatus notice or a week 40 next week. I'm not sure which one's gonna come up. That is it for today. Be sure to subscribe so you know when I update, and be sure to follow me on Instagram. That's where I'm going to be posting a birth announcement as soon as possible once she's here. This was actually my target week to get things scheduled, so a lot of my videos moving forward have already been scheduled. I'm just going to be kind of relaxing and taking a break in the background. So I've got a lot of videos scheduled for you guys over the next couple of months. Actually, I did end up getting a lot of them scheduled. So you guys will have plenty of videos to watch even after the hiatus notice, and they start this week. And I will introduce my baby girl as soon as I feel ready to do so. So this might be the last pregnancy update. I might skip next week, even if I'm still pregnant, like I said. So in case this is my last video for a while that's not pre-scheduled, I hope you guys have a wonderful time, and I will catch you guys as soon as I can. Thank you so much for watching and keeping up with my updates and for all your support. It's been absolutely wonderful, and I love that I've been able to share this journey with you guys, and I've loved having you guys along for the ride. So thank you so much for being here, and I'll be back soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.